Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jari Kuusisto. I come from a company called Wapice. We are an IoT and AI company, and I arrived to Aranda and Stockholm yesterday. So I'm living in Vasa. It was easy to take Scandinavian Airlines directly to Stockholm, and I had a nice chance to see your beautiful city yesterday. A little bit about IoT Ticket in general. So IoT Ticket is brought to you by Wapice Limited. So we are an IoT and AI company from Finland, a little bit over 350 IoT and AI experts working for our company. And we are headquartered in Vasa. We have offices around 11 major cities in Finland nowadays. And our company has been established in 1999. So we have been developing software for industry critical systems since over 20 years. And because our background, our heritage is coming from industrial sector, energy sector, quality aspects, cybersecurity aspects are really, really important in whatever software development we are doing. And that's why also, because our IoT Ticket product platform is used by energy critical system, industry critical systems, our processes, what we use to develop the platform are DNV certified. So ISO 9001, 14001, 27001 certified processes. That's very, very important to us when we are working with critical software development. Another highlight from our product, our company, is that this is a Finnish service flag product. So whole software has been developed in Finland. We can host the service within Europe. It can be within Sweden. It can be within Finland. So that is also something what we differentiate in Europe in general, that we are a local player.
If you change your camera to something else, that will make them see you on the camera as well.
How to do that?
Start video, and change to click that and take black magnet design.
This one.
Yeah. I think they can see.
Okay, can you see me now online also? All right, thanks, Toppe. Then in general, about IoT Ticket, it's globally awarded solution. In 2019, we won Microsoft. What? Here. Okay, good. So it's a globally awarded solution. In 2019, we won this Microsoft Innovation Award in Las Vegas. Our team was there to collect the prize, and it was with IoT Ticket we won this Application Innovation Award about industrial IoT application. Also last year in Enabling Technologies category in Barcelona, we won together with City of Tampere. We won this Enabling Technologies Award. So the Barcelona is the world's largest Smart City Expo and conference, and we were there in this Enabling Technologies category with City of Tampere. Then on industrial side, several different kind of awards around Industry 4.0, about design award, service design award, and similar. Our platform is not a new one. We are not a startup. Our company has been established over 20 years already, over 350 employees, and also IoT Ticket development has started since almost 20 years. So 2005, we started with Wapice remote monitoring, developing platform to remotely monitor and manage industrial equipment. So that was where we started to get the connectivity from the industrial equipment to the cloud, get the data there, get the management capabilities. And then in 2011, we started to focus more on the application part, on the AI, machine learning, so applying and extracting value out of the data, and not so much anymore collecting the data or remotely managing systems. And what IoT Ticket is in the core is explained by these different layers, how our customers are building services around IoT Ticket. So we start with connectivity. We are offering very broad connectivity portfolio from field bus connectivity solutions, IoT sensor connectivity. We have connectivity for different cloud platforms such as Azure IoT, AWS, and similar. So we can very flexibly bring data from different systems. We are also doing a lot of integrations to different kind of city systems that you will see quite soon. So our value proposition is that we can connect any device, any system. And if we are lacking the capability in the platform, our value proposition is that we add that capability to all of our customers. Then when you have connected the data, you can manage devices, you can manage assets. What we say, you can model the data, you can harmonize the data structures, model them very freely. So when you are bringing data from different sources, you can still harmonize it to look the same. For instance, if you are bringing traffic data from different kind of systems, you can harmonize it so that it's easy to use on the application layer or in the open APIs provided by the platform. And then on application layer, we have web-based tools to build web applications, automatic reporting, and also we have a data flow editor where you can do mathematical operations, logical operations. You can code in your own scripts. You can write machine learning, AI algorithms, either within the data flow, or then you can integrate the data flow to third-party analytics and AI platforms. So we want to be very, very flexible in working with different kind of platforms and companies. And it is a multi-tenant system. You can manage your organizations, you can manage your users very efficiently. Typically with cities, we are integrating Azure AD type of integration, so you can do single sign-on, and then we can assign different kind of roles, profiles for the user. And these are the layers our customers are using to build services for themselves to operate more efficiently, or for their customers to give added value for using their services. And it's not only a platform. We are providing integration services to different kind of third-party systems. We are offering consultancy services to plan how do you want to build your ecosystem, platform ecosystem. We are training, we have an onboarding process where we are training our customers or customers' ecosystems to build solutions by themselves. So we want to enable the ecosystem development around the data and give the possibility for the customer or their ecosystem to build solutions around the data. We also provide content creation services. If the customer wants, we are doing that for them. We can provide productized solutions. You will see some of them around smart cities soon, or turnkey solutions to bring the whole service with all the applications together. So we want to be very flexible, but still provide our expertise be available if the customer so wants. And the benefits of having IoT Ticket as a service is that you have the new platform features at your fingertips all the time. We have a lot of industrial customers, energy customers, moving machine customers who are utilizing the platform. We are investing ourselves to the platform development every year and also co-investing with some of our customers. So you are getting, with the service, you are getting all the time new features available whenever we are developing. And it's around 6 releases a year that you can get at the moment. And yeah, we are bringing to the city side also the expertise from as an industrial partner. So we have been developing industrial system, energy system for over 20 years. And that is what we bring together when any of our customer is working with us. And then you can concentrate on the value-adding services instead of the basic software development. If we go to smart cities, what smart cities is typically, how do we look at smart cities, is about building a holistic view of your city with the platform. So bringing data together from different existing systems from the urban infrastructure so that you can use the data-driven decision making like never before and see the big picture of what is happening in the city. And this is a little bit more technical picture of the same thing. So we have some ready-to-use applications on the application platform. You can build your own. And how we approach these use cases or applications is that we are first looking into what existing systems you already have where we can bring the data together. So you can get started in a fast way. And then we are connecting that with the device management, harmonizing the data models from the different systems, and then you are ready to go with different kind of applications. Our customer is always owning all the data, and they can also use Marketplace to share the data for larger audiences, share the applications for larger audiences. There are very extensive open API standard APIs to share the data. Toppe.
Is that a way to implement the MIMS 3 stuff with the marketplace? Is it the starting point for that?
Yeah, you can basically how cities are using this is basically they can decide what data sets they want to publish for larger audiences. You have a catalog of data sets, and then you can order packages of data, and you get an access to your email to start working with the data. So the idea is to expose city data for larger audience, basically. That's the principle. And then there is also more extensive APIs for third-party application services, so that you can use with like a OAuth credentials, so you can authenticate third-party systems, authenticate users to fetch like more extensive data sets through the API. And we believe in partnerships. We are working a lot with Microsoft around the IoT platforms for smart cities. Our platform can run on any cloud service, Microsoft, Azure, AWS, Google, but with city context, we are working quite a bit with Microsoft. Then Nokia, mostly with connectivity parts, so 5G connectivity, different kind of connectivity solutions from them. Then Signify, they are providing outdoor lighting control system. We have ready-to-use integrations to that for advanced lighting maintenance solutions, or then dynamic control of lighting based on traffic, weather data, or occupancy data from different outdoor areas. and so on. We are working also with a Swedish company called Axis, mostly with machine vision based solutions, camera-based solutions. And that is very important for us because we are local in Europe, we are local in Nordics with Axis. So that is kind of, if we think about GDPR, getting where your data is going to and so on, especially with cameras, that is very, very important to us. A little bit about the innovation ecosystem. So the idea is that you can use the APIs, the Swagger interface, OpenAPI standard to get easily the data, to work on analytics and similar. Then you have the low-code, no-code tools to build different kind of applications. We can provide the training for people to build different kind of solutions. And then you have the marketplace for business ecosystem. So you can share the results of your data analytics, of your different kind of applications. There's also a possibility for pricing your analyzed data, pricing your applications. So that is one aspect of enabling like business around the data. When we are talking about use cases, applications, our focus is on these 4 areas. With mobility, we are working with traffic management solutions, people flow analytics and forecasts, and then smart parking solutions. On urban area side, the outdoor lighting is one very cornerstone, and then outdoor area maintenance, meaning occupancy measurement from outdoor areas, condition measurements from outdoor areas. So those 3. And then on property management side, we are mainly working with private companies like AFRY and Granlund and similar. They are more doing like a building fleet management of large building fleets. For instance, in Finland, AFRY has over 10,000 buildings connected to the service so that they can monitor how is going on with their customer buildings, and also provide this kind of monitoring service for their customers. And then like many energy companies, we are working around renewable energy, fleet management, maintenance, and similar. I wanted to bring one example case from Finland. This is city of Tampere. It's the largest inland city in the Nordic countries, over 500,000 inhabitants in the region. And it's a center of Finnish industry. We are working with the city with 10-year-long contract period to provide the IoT platform for the city, but also outdoor lighting as a service and the urban area insights as a service. And at the same time, we are providing this platform for the ecosystem, for the companies, research institutes, universities, and the marketplace, the APIs, so that they can also work with the data.
A question there. When they did the procurement, did they also had the private companies as taking part in the procurement, or how is that?
Yes, they run a public procurement in 2020.
Yes.
And they actually won the best, most innovative public procurement of that year with this IoT platform procurement. So there were several companies offering for the platform solution, and then we got selected in the procurement process.
Okay, and the private companies were participating as well together with the public authorities, or Tampere, I mean.
Tampere was the procuring party.
Yeah,
so
and they provided to the companies. As,
yeah,
as
they were. Yeah, they are also. Maybe we can go to the next page. So this is highlighting quite nicely what the idea for Tampere is. So they want to have a platform where they started with smart lights, they started with environment sensing, but they want to have a platform that can serve several different use cases. For instance, data for logistics companies. The logistics is one very important part, logistic companies within Tampere region. And another is this manufacturing company, especially around moving machines. There is a lot of good companies like Sandvik, for instance, which is coming from Sweden. They are working also in Tampere region very actively on the mining equipment R&D similar. So that is the idea, that you have a platform where you can build during the 10-year-long contract period, you can build different kind of solutions for different kind of use cases. And this is one use case. I'm prepared, by the way, after my presentation, if anyone here wants to see more in detail how it is with Tampere, I have a permission to demonstrate that environment, the production environment. So you will get a chance to see this, what I explain here in a real environment.
Yes, and as said before, that kind of more in-depth things we're doing after the meeting for those that have possibility to stay, and that goes both for you that are participating remotely and us being here. So everyone that has got the time,
Yes,
feel free.
great.
Then we can spend as much time as we want to check things, and people can free to ask you.
Yes.
So let's do that at 3:30.
Yes, great. I'm here for you. So this traffic planning is one point that what we are doing with City of Tampere. They have over 800 measurements from 4 different systems around traffic data coming to the platform, so that they can see the real life current situation, the historical data of what is happening with the traffic, to access the full life cycle data of the traffic. And what they are mostly interested here is to build this decarbonization around mobility, especially in the city center. So they want to build and develop bicycling, pedestrian traffic, similar, using public transport in the city. And when they are doing investments, they want to also measure how it is changing, how it is developing from year to year. So that's why they have actually brought data all the way from beginning of 2000 from this massive Excel file into the platform, and then we are now collecting that all the time to the time series data from these over 800 measurement points. So there is 4 different systems we are connected to. We are using city cameras, which are, by the way, axis cameras, all of them. We have a centralized machine vision system inside the fiber network that is producing the data. It's our Finnish developed machine vision algorithm there. Then we are having around 200 traffic light system measurement points. So we have integrated the traffic light system of the city, bringing the data from there, and then some other pedestrian counting vendors who are providing this kind of pedestrian and cyclist data counts. And this is how it went, the story. We started from Ice Hockey World Championship Games 2022. They wanted to understand how people are arriving to the arena, how they are going away from the arena. We started to create forecasts around that also when we experienced a couple of events. And then they started to understand, okay, this is how the people are arriving, how we can adjust for the next game and so on. And then the traffic planning department got interested into this, that hey, this seems very nice. We could use this on the whole city center perspective. And then we scale to this little bit over 800 measurement points around the city. And from there came one guy from corporate services of the city saying that, hey, can you make me a forecast if I make a company who has this hot dog stall, so I know where I should put my hot dog kiosk every night, so I can check that I put it there where there's most people around. And then we got this idea about Tampereen Pulssi, which is basically a service meant for the businesses, restaurants, department stores. They can get forecasts for 1 month ahead on an hourly level, based on weather forecast, based on weekday variance, and then the events around the major event venues in the city. They get really accurate forecast about how much people are expected in any given day or an hour for 1 month ahead. And we are using the traffic data also with machine learning for the streetlight control system. So we are partnering with 2 companies at the moment, or we have integrated 2 company systems at the moment, Signify Interact City and then C2 Smart Light. And there's also a Swedish brand called Capelon. They have one area where they are now renewing their equipment to this new 1.9 gigahertz technology. And once they have done that, we are planning to integrate to that. So the idea is that we can integrate to outdoor lighting systems from different vendors and then connect this kind of traffic weather data, and the city can manage, maintain the street lights independent of which city area is equipped with which vendor's system. So that gives the flexibility for the city to do the procurements and similar. Outdoor maintenance. So one is basic thing is to gain information about the conditions in the outdoor areas to plan maintenance actions. That's kind of basic things. So weather monitoring, road surface monitoring, this kind of things. But then I think this is a little bit bringing now a little bit more value, because we are also measuring the visitor amounts of the outdoor areas. So the city can know how much people are visiting. They can even measure like utilization hours of different kind of equipment. So if you have an outdoor gym, for instance, you can measure how much hours on each of the outdoor areas. You can measure how many usage hours there has been for the equipment. And then you can, for the next month, see that what equipment this hour limit is exceeding, and plan your maintenance routines around that. At the same time, when you have a visitor amount on the history, you can create forecasts for the citizens in the citizen application to plan your visit to an outdoor gym or a playground or similar. If you want to go to the gym when there's not so much people, or if you want to go to a football field to find some playmates. So it can depend what kind of use case you have, but you still have the forecast about how much people are expected in those areas. Also considering the weather, weekdays, events, and so on. So we started with the weather conditions on the outdoor areas. We expand to these utilization rates. We are doing dynamic based on the visitor or the occupancy data. We are doing dynamic lighting control on some of the areas. So when there's no one around, you can have a lighting level around 10%, but then when there's people around, you can light it to the 100%. So it's nice to play ice hockey or football if it's dark. Okay, this time of the year is not a problem, but maybe more in the winter time. Yeah, and then the like a citizen point of view, so you can plan your visit based on the visitor amounts. This is what I explained this quite thoroughly already. So maintaining street lighting. One nice thing is that when we are bringing the data together from different systems, you have a holistic view independent from the vendor, what is happening with the city street lighting. We have different kind of anomaly detections implemented, so you can detect if there is something strange happening in the street lighting, in the outdoor lighting. We have integrated also this OpenAI ChatGPT-4 model, so you can ask if you are on the field, you can ask like you would chat with WhatsApp to your workmate. You can chat to the chatbot and get information about how the street lighting is going at the moment. Ask detailed questions about how what is wrong there and so on, and it's all based on the IoT data and such. So it's restricted basically to the IoT data. And then when you have connected the system, you can manage the street lighting, but not only street lighting. We have connected this Osram EQ system that is doing like a special lighting control. So you can do like with different kind of combo lights, put like different kind of logos when there are different kind of events. You can put different kind of coloring, theme coloring on certain areas when you have a certain kind of event, or then when the event is starting, you have like arrow lights guiding the people to correct place, or then when it's ending the other way around. And there's also some evacuation lighting schemes which allow to, if there's a need to evacuate, it can be triggered on by an authority or the event organizer. So it's combining street light control and this kind of special light control for event lighting situations. Yeah, so we started the traditional street light control with C2 Smart Light. Then we have expanded to this special light management. Oops, I have sound on there. So you can see a little bit like gobo lights, this kind of arrow lights, atmospheric lighting, and similar, where we can program this kind of schemes that the city or the event organizer can put on. And this is allowing you to make like when you have a dynamic light, when you combine that to dynamic lighting, also the lighting to react to the amount of people or similar. That is something that we haven't done yet, but it's in the plans that we can make like an interactive experience also. And then any other ideas? You name it. I mean, combining the data, bringing the data together from different systems, making some analytics, some machine learning, connecting those results to some other system. This is the kind of the value. So there are good dedicated systems for different use cases, but what you can achieve when you are bringing the data together, that's the thing. The sky is the limit, I think.
Yes, and also a budget maybe could be a limit. So I'm really a little bit interested. What annual budget approximately do Tampere actually put into investing in these things?
The platform service itself, if we exclude all the hardware, all the lighting control systems and similar, the platform control is around 100K a year for all the use cases we have.
For all the use cases?
Yes.
But then they need about, if you include the sensors and you need to do development things, and
Yeah.
so what would you say to their total budget for investing in this? Because I think that something that we are struggling with in Sweden, and I think that some of the platform vendors would agree that still we are at the place that where we have a few sensors here and a few sensors there, and people are not really willing to actually put up the budget that is needed to actually do a massive investment in all these kind of things that can bring very good effects. So that's why I was interested in what budget they might have each year.
That's a really good question, and the answer is that I don't know, because they have been doing like very systematic work for many years to build a good infrastructure of connectivity, good infrastructure for these kind of things. And when they are procuring the hardware or different system, they are procuring those for certain purpose. But then they have the requirement there that there needs to be connectivity for the city data platform. That's the requirement on every procurement that they are doing. So, I mean, they might still need to invest in street lighting. They still might need to invest in traffic light renewal, similar, but they are at the same time making sure that there is the connectivity available. So that's why it's really hard to say how much you need, because it's like, I don't know how many of years of systematic work when they are building this kind of systems that they make it possible to have this kind of good connectivity, good infrastructure, where you have existing systems where you can bring data, but you have also the capability to easily add new sensors for certain areas and so on. And this is what we have learned. This is like a generic thing, what we have learned, be it a city, be it industrial site or whatever. These are the typical steps that we always go through with our customers. It can be also with certain use cases. So you always start around understanding what data sources you have. Of course, you have the use case there in the background, so you know what you want to build. But then what data sources, what is the data foundation you have? You get connected to the systems and start to visualize and understand what is happening. That is always, you need to understand that first. And then you can recognize different kind of patterns with advanced analytics, data analytics, to understand the causes and impacts. And then you can start applying machine learning, AI models to the data so that you can start to predict what will happen next. But first you need to understand. And then from there you can go then to the connecting the machine learning to the digital feedback loop to the existing systems to do a lighting control, traffic light optimization, similar. And in the end, this is the target where most of our customers want to be, but there's no shortcut. My claim is that there's no shortcut here. You cannot jump directly from here to here. You need to take the learning process to achieve this. Okay. Thanks. That was my presentation.
And a really interesting one. Thank you for a good, very good and pedagogic presentation of your things. So let's open the for questions or comments by anyone here at the meeting or digital. Now I don't see your hands, so you might actually.
You have some questions in the chat, Tobbe.
Okay, I'll check them in the chat. See if I can find them. But we can also have actually people asking the question.
Yes.
So we have some Simon. If you want to speak up to start with.
Absolutely. Or if I saw that first Björn Hagström raised his hand during the presentation, and then Jesper Rönnholm, so I can bide with my questions. It's totally fine. Or I'm used to go first, but
no,
otherwise.
Go ahead, no problem.
Okay. First of all, really interesting to hear about Tampere, because we had some experience exchange between Jönköpings County and Helsingborg City, and Helsingborg, we have Andreas Postel amongst us today, but they have spoken very warm about you in Tampere, and it's like, well, yeah, we wanted to go there almost. I had 3 questions. First of all, you were talking about, Jari, that you could measure the traffic. I mean pedestrians, cyclists, cars, buses, trucks, etc. And we were just interested in what kind of technology is used to measure or see the difference between the cyclists and the pedestrians.
Yes.
Is it cameras or?
Yeah, it's different kind of equipment. So this is actually a production environment of the city of Tampere. I have a permission to show it to you. So here you can see that there is some data is coming from cameras. It's unfortunately in Finnish, but it's supporting localization. So the people who are using this is Finnish, but I try to explain. So there is camera systems. So we are using normal city cameras that are connected to fiber network, and the machine vision processing is done inside the closed network. And then you are getting like this kind of statistical information only to the cloud. Then we are using traffic light systems. Some of them have actually sensors integrated to calculate also pedestrians and even bicycles. There might be some inductive sensors that are detecting some metal going by. And then there is this Eco Counter company. I don't know if it's a company or a product, but they have this kind of quite large set of different kind of pedestrian cyclist counting sensors, what you can use. So those are the 3 that are capable of measuring the pedestrians, bicycles, e-scooters, only possible with machine learning solution at the moment, I believe, because you cannot distinguish with inductive sensor. You cannot distinguish whether it was a bicycle or a e-scooter that went over the sensor.
Yeah. And while still speaking, this was my second question, and it's a little bit together, because we've had this idea in Jönköpings County, and speaking of the cameras, some people we have the integrity to think about as well, and that's why you shouldn't use cameras. And some cameras can identify or the dumb cameras.
Yeah. GDPR, and it's the same. I mean, the same legislation is in Finland and in Europe in general, GDPR, and that's why you need to handle it with care. So how we have tackled that with City of Tampere is that, first of all, no personal information is going outside of the closed network. No data, videos data or anything is stored. So it's only counting live from the pictures within the closed network. and it's only sending this kind of statistical data there. And then of course we have done risk analysis mitigation with City of Tampere around GDPR. So you need to take care of these things, not only GDPR, but also cybersecurity point of view when you are designing this kind of systems. Yes.
Maybe we have on the list here. So if it's okay. So Simon, were you ready with your questions?
Yeah, I had another question, but I didn't want to take all the time. But it was about measuring the public areas. I was just wondering if you were also measuring man, female, and children, because there is technology capable of doing that as well. And I just had a interesting conversation with a colleague of mine, just speaking about the outdoor gyms. It would be very good if you could measure this because of the politics.
Yeah, how would I put it? The technology itself supports categorization, and we all know probably that there's quite detailed categorization happening somewhere in the Far East. But we are very, very careful with that, with any kind of categorization of people based on gender, based on anything, because it's very risky on the like privacy protection point of view. So it could be possible, but it needs to be, the risk need to be managed very carefully. The privacy risk.
Yes. Interesting. Okay, thank you, Simon. So is it okay we switch to Björn? Had some questions as well, and after that Jesper, and after that Fredrik.
Yeah, I have 3 questions. In Sweden, I think it should be applied in Finland also. If an official organization shares data, they need to make metadata about that data available to a central register. I think it's in the Open Data Directive, definitely in the Swedish Open Data Law. And in Sweden, we're using DCAT AP SE, a Swedish version of the standard DCAT AP, to share our metadata to the dataportal.se, that is the Swedish data portal. Do you have support for DCAT AP?
I'm not myself aware, so I need to take that with me and get back to that question. So if you can send some information for me, maybe talk to you.
Yeah, I can provide that.
So then I can check it with my colleagues. So, but one thing I could share with you is this marketplace solution that we have. There is, when you are creating, this is something where any one of you even can go into. So it's marketplace.iot.tampere.fi. You can grow and create your own account. When you are doing your first order, you can create your own account there, and you can get access to any of these data sets that City of Tampere has published here. And they are described, of course, here when you are ordering the data, but it's also then when you are accessing, you will get a kind of token of data. So then you can read out the metadata of the data description, that what is available with your token. And this is described with JSON format. So this is Open API standard API, and you can export JSON descriptions of the data sets. And it works similar way if you are going to this larger API, which is working with the user or system authentication. You can get like a very extensive I will scroll through. With assets controller, you are able to get information about the whole digital twin model, what kind of data sets it contains, and then you are able to read the data out. And this is also following Open API standard. We have this Swagger implementation for the Open API standard that helps you to get started with the API.
Yeah, it's the information about these that need to be shared by the Swedish with the Swedish data portal, so they are registered there, so they are searchable and findable in dataportal.se. I think in Finland you have ivondata.fi or something like that, but we can come back to that.
Yes, and also if anyone else has questions that comes to your mind after the presentation, send it to me and I will send it to Jari to sort things out afterwards as well.
Great.
And the next question concerned the storing of data and the running of the system. You said that you take security and personal information very seriously. One way to ensure that is to avoid the uncertainty concerning American cloud services. We don't know what will happen in a few years when the TREMS 3 will be decided. But you are using American cloud service providers, as I understand it. Is it possible to host this system entirely on your own servers within your own organization without reliance on cloud services?
Very, very good question. Short answer is yes. So it's cloud agnostic service. We are running this, for instance, with our energy customers in Finland. They cannot be running, the energy critical systems cannot be running in any cloud. They are running in the machine, what do you call this? Machine centrals, basically, local machine centrals.
So, data centers.
Data center, yes, that was the word I was looking for. Data centers, so they can run on a single computer on a data center and similar. And then depending on our customer, depending on which country they are operating in, we can also run in several cloud services. I think at the moment we have, with some of our global customers like Danfoss and Schaeffler, who are operating globally, we have services running in Azure, AWS, Google, Alibaba Cloud in China. So it's very flexible in that sense.
Yeah, great. So you don't care; it's possible to do whatever the customer desires. That's good to know.
Yeah, that's what we want to be very flexible with that.
Yeah, and the next question was the MIMS from OWASP and living in EU. I said in the chat, I said lining in EU. That's not correct. It should be living in EU. Do you support the MIMS on purpose? Are you trying to do that, or are you aware of them? I know that you're aware of them.
Yes, we are aware of them, and we are actually trying with some of our contacts from city of Tampere to get the Tampere city as a demonstrator for those MIMS. So there is Seppo Haataja is working in the OASC. I think he's in the board, or how it was. I don't remember exactly his role. And then Anni Joela is also very active working with from city of Tampere in the OASC. And what we want to do actually to bring Tampere, we are hoping to engage Tampere to be the demonstrator for the minimum interoperability. So that is our approach. Yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Sounds good.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Björn. Also, then Jesper.
Yes, I was curious about the closed networks that you described for the data that is coming in from the field sensors and the cameras to recognize pedestrians and so on. I was curious, are these local networks that you have in situ with the cameras themselves, or are they also cloud-based? And what does the data flow look like from those to ensure that you have isolation there? So is it only forward direction of data, or is it bi-directional? I mean, do you need to add any reference data to the categorization, if you will?
Yeah, very good question. So I have of course, I have a detailed architecture pictures. I don't want to share them at this point, but if you are interested, you can send me a message, a request, jari.kuusisto@wapice.com, and I can check with City of Tampere if we can have a session to go through. But on general level, if I explain the architecture, it's so that there is a fiber network that they are calling like kadunvarsitekniikkaverkko. So it's like a street technology network. That is a closed fiber network where they have connected different kind of city infrastructure systems. I don't want to list every one of them because it's also one kind of security risk to share that information. But this is the way. So there is then some machine rooms where we have this counting unit, and it's inside that closed network. And then the only thing that can get out from there is the statistical information of the counts that we have produced. So there's very strict firewall that is allowing also pushing out only that certain kind of information.
Very interesting.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, Fredrik? Okay, let's see. But you can speak out.
My question was, when objects like car, pedestrian, transport, identifying via machine learning or AI, and or analytics execute in the edge, in this case, in the actual camera, for example,
We are doing hybrid basically. So when there is good fiber connectivity from normal cameras, then the picture doesn't go out kind of from closed networks that we can route it to the central. That is typically the most cost efficient way to do it and very secure way to do it also. But then there are areas where you don't have that fiber connectivity. You might need to use 4G routers, similar, to bring in the data. Then we are using, depending on the use case, we are using typical either Axis or Bosch cameras, so which have the counting capability integrated in the edge unit. So we want to be, we have actually also some other options in the, but those are the most typical when we are working with cities, that centralized processing where possible, security and connectivity wise, because it's very cost efficient to use normal cameras. But then there are places where you don't have so good connectivity and you have a European brands within Europe who have quite good machine learning, machine vision solutions integrated to camera like Axis and Bosch, and then we can use those. But then of course it's more expensive cameras when you have that kind of capabilities there, and the fleet management is a little bit more tricky because you need to use the vendors' solutions to configure the cameras, run the software updates to them, and similar. We are actually looking into this ONVIF specification at the moment together with Axis. So what we want to, what we are evaluating, that if we could add that kind of like edge processing camera, more extensive features to the platform, so you could manage, because Bosch and Axis are both supporting this ONVIF standard. So that is something we are looking into.
Thank you. So anyone else having questions or something you would like to discuss?
This is in the meanwhile, this is the forecasting service of Tampere Pulse service. So how it works, it works also in the citizen application, in the Tampere Finland application, but you have also web version of it. So you can select date like next Saturday or Saturday from the upcoming week, one month ahead, and then you can get forecasts on an hourly level in different parts of the city. And you can, of course, if you are a restaurant owner in this area of the city, you can select that particular area and see the forecast. So what you can do with this is to plan your staffing, inventories, maybe some special advertisements for the people to get people visit your restaurant and make sure that you can provide a good service for the visitors. And of course, the interest for city of Tampere is that if the good businesses flourish, then it means that the rental prices are going up, the land price is going up in the city center, and the visitor experience is better, because if you are going to a concert, to a hockey game, to a football game, you are also getting a good experience as a Tampere as a whole, because there is good services available around the events. So that's kind of, if you think from city perspective, why would you build this kind of service and offer that to your businesses?
It's very interesting.
Two use cases here in Tampere.
Yes.
Few ones I haven't heard of before. Is there any use case that you have only seen in Tampere and nowhere else?
So I might repeat the question because so the audience.
Yes, so there was a question that is there such use cases in Tampere that I haven't seen anywhere else? This is one of them. This Tampere Pulse service is one of them. I haven't seen anywhere this kind of a forecasting service, and it has attracted a lot of interest, of course, within different actors within the city. So like maintenance, planning, authority planning, whatever, but also many other cities have been very interested in this. Another thing that I haven't seen is combining this outdoor street lighting control and this kind of special lighting control to make this kind of lighting schemes around different kind of events. I'm sure there are that kind of solutions like on an integrated sports arenas and similar, but on the city level, I haven't seen that happening. So those are at least two that come to my mind.
Thanks. Okay, I don't see any more questions now in the. I don't think I do that anyhow. So let's now thank you, Jari, for your presentation. We'll get back to you at 3:30 for more in-depth stuff.
Yeah.
And now we take a break. And since we are not in such a hurry today, I'd suggest we take a 14 or 30 minutes break. So 5 minutes past 3:30. So 14:35. Let's be back then for some more business here. So stay put and come back again, but have some coffee and refreshments. See you soon.
Thank you.
It can be a city planning solution where you are